Would you look at that? Yazzy's back to talk about an anime that is not The Promised Neverland or dunking on something. Do you see this right here? This is one of the most wholesome manga that I have read in quite a while. It is not only absolutely adorable, but it is well written, beautifully illustrated, and lewd as shit. Like, extremely. And despite the fact that it's got an anime airing this season, it's not getting nearly as much love as it deserves because people don't know how to just shut up and enjoy it.
But the subtitles are bad! It advocates for abusive relations. The sports lolly's gonna trigger the... It was written by a hentai artist and it's full of fetishes.
Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro is wholesome, horny, perfected. And I am so damn happy that the anime adaptation isn't letting me down. But I feel like the only buzz around it this season has been like exhaustingly negative. It's not controversial or whatever the opposite of controversial is, and it doesn't need to be like debated or argued. It's a noteworthy series for sure. That's why I'm here to absolutely scream about it nonstop. And it deserves to be talked about for what actually makes it what it is, and not just for what people want to use it as like bait for on a bird website. What's special about Miss Nagatoro is how consistently the story progresses and how well done the character development is. And creator Nanashi is a master of horny who managed to take this like perfectly wholesome, sweet romance and wrap it in the world's lewdest ribbon. The bare bones plot is simple enough. First-year high school student Nagatoro meets her second-year senpai, she falls for him nearly instantly, and the story follows their relationship growth. It seems basic when you lay it out like that, but instead of following that typical high school girl trope of leaving shy love notes in people's shoeboxes and quietly hoping that your older senpai notices you, we've got a humiliation kink, extremely high-quality toes, and whatever this insane gift was, this, and the anime too, for good measure. This series is littered with tons of subtle visual cues and wholesome moments. And it manages to nail that doki doki romance feeling that shoujo manga brings, while also delivering 100% on the high quality armpits and quivering beta tears. I find when something leans so hard into that ecchi gag territory, they have to sacrifice the romance side of it. It's hard to have heavily lewd gags with characters whose entire premise is built off of how innocent their romance is, but with Nagatoro, the creator Nanashi kept that perfect balance. Especially in the manga, actually. When I sat down to read this, I intended to do a volume each night, but the story's progression was just so consistently satisfying that I sped through 6 volumes in a single night. By the end of the second volume, Nagatoro as a manga was at the top of my all-time favorite list. This scene, right here, we'll pick a side someday, this scene right here is what cemented it for me. We get to see Nagatoro panel by panel taking in that artwork that Senpai did for her, and they spend full pages focusing on that bubbling up of feelings that she has. And then there's this page here. That is the face of a girl who knows just how much her crush had to be thinking about her to create something like that. That stupidly innocent high school romance feeling of your senpai literally noticing you is encapsulated so perfectly in these pages. Binge reading the manga was also easy because none of the characters get stuck running in place, and it's not just Nagatoro herself who gets all the love. Senpai as a character gets that depth that he deserves, of course, but the supporting cast of Nagatoro's friend group also avoid that endless loop of cause problems, go nowhere, do nothing. A big problem that I had with series like Uzaki and Magical Senpai, besides the fact that Uzaki's just fucking ugly, were that they just kind of got stale. You can only take that sexy girl who uses her body parts to tease the dorky guy things so far, and thankfully Nagatoro doesn't fall short with all of this. None of those super lewd jokes go to waste, but they also never undermine that innocence and awkwardness of their relationship. There's lots of going back and forth calling each other's bluffs, but it always gets awkward and hits that like high school that's the best word I have for it. The high school I know the premise of the show is bullying, but it's more playful teasing. Nobody's actually like mean to anybody. Nobody's psychologically harming anybody or like going home and thinking, fuck man, I had the worst day ever because Nagatoro touched my nipples. They're fully aware of the way they treat each other, and Nagatoro tries not to let anybody else into that space, and she doesn't treat other people that way either. She's not a mean person, she just hides that shyness behind sexy. Her friends, who also sometimes take part in the silliness, don't hate Senpai or anything, and they don't exist just to slam that reset button on their progress. They spend their time teasing Nagatoro that same playful way that she goes after Senpai. In the end, everybody actually likes each other, and they're having a good time, and they have that opportunity to be like, peace out, I hate you, but they don't, because they're friends. And sometimes friends just want friends to step on them. I also really love how much individual personality Nagatoro's friends have, but I won't spoil the traits that they have going on. The anime has been so much fun so far, and I am super happy with how it's all being adapted. It's not like revolutionary or anything as far as animation goes, but it really faithfully captures Nagatoro's personality through the stylization of it and the voice acting, which is so good. They cast it so well.
なんか先輩、やらしい目してませんでした？
何のことだ？
こんな感じで。
Senpai's awkward charm is on point as well. His subtle reactions get just as much screen time as Nagatoro, and the OP is the cherry on top. It is so stylish, and the song, which I'm not gonna play because I'm scared of copyright, is always stuck in my head. The whole thing just fits Nagatoro's vibe. As far as keeping faithful to the manga, the anime kinda prioritizes the lewd gags over the romance. That's not to say that they don't capture the feelings that they have for each other or like cut anything out. It's portrayed so amazingly. But the speed it moves at doesn't really give us much time to notice those subtle parts of their interactions or take in what's going on, so depending on what you're hoping to get out of the series, the anime alone might not quite hook you in as hard. Watching these two go back and forth is the highlight of my week right now. I am quite literally begging you to give this series a shot. Either a volume of the manga or a couple episodes of the anime, something, give it a chance. Just clear your mind of what idiots on the internet have made you think that this thing's about and watch it. I'm not an idiot on the internet, don't clear your mind of what I said. And assuming I didn't do a fucky wucky with my schedule, volume 7 comes out today.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
Thank you, Saturday gods, for blessing us with this gift! You can pick up all of Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro over on Bookwalker, the sponsor for today's video. They have got all of the ebooks in gloriously clean high quality, which means you can see Nagatoro's armpits and toes in high quality! And new users can get 600 yen off with my code YAZY, that is Y-A-Z-Y or Y-A-Z-Y, depending on what country you're from. That means you can pick up a volume for a little less than $3, assuming that the exchange rate hasn't gone to shit. My code can be used on any purchase on Bookwalker, but I mean, you've already sat here this long. Give Nagatoro a read, maybe, right? Right? You sat here, you wasted this long. You wasted what? Read it, please. Or watch it, something, just please. She deserves it. She deserves it. Thank you for hanging out with me again today. It's been a little while since I came in with a new recommendation, so I eagerly look forward to hearing all about how I successfully converted you into loving the Sarodere character type. That's right, I saved my extremely hot take for the last second. I hate tsunderes with every fiber of my being. Saroderes deserve the top spot. Thank you, goodbye.